My name is Nick Torres, and I was a Starfish Mentor, going back to about 5 years ago. My scholar has now graduated high school and just finished his first semester at the University of Indianapolis. Yeah, I distinctly remember the first evening that we met, which was match night. I got the background information about him and his family, and he had two younger sisters, and both of his parents, it was a two-family home, and both were engaged. When I got there, it was him and his father. His mother and his two sisters were at home. So I sit down, started talking to him. He looked like he was going to melt. The student was extremely nervous. Dad was a little bit nervous. It was all new. It was new for me and it was new for them. So we were kind of in it together. So we didn't hit it off and give a high five and a big hug, from day one. But we certainly didn't have any issues. It was one of those things that it was kind of a slower process that was gradual as that relationship continued to build. What surprised me the most about mentoring, how little exposure he actually had to even thinking about higher education. I think some of us as mentors, some of us might take that for granted. I worked at a college environment where I was on a college campus every day, and so for me it was common. It was what I lived every day. But when we first got matched up and paired up, he knew that he was supposed to want to go to college, but honestly, I don't think he even knew what that meant or what types of opportunities that could provide to him in the future. And that was a big shock for me. So I thought, okay, we'd get matched up, tell him you got to get good grades, and all of a sudden we start looking at schools. It was really more, you really kind of had to start at the foundational level of saying, okay, here's why this is important. Here's why you should want it for yourself. Here's why you should want it for your family. Here's the opportunities that you'll have as you get to college, and here's everything you need to do leading up there to give you that opportunity. So that really kind of surprised me. So we kind of had to shift things and make sure we starting at square one. As I mentioned earlier, he was self-motivated. His parents had support for him at home. They expected him to put in work in regards to helping out at home and doing his schoolwork, but where they kind of really needed that extra layer of support was college related, just because they hadn't experienced that up to this point. So that's where I kind of felt like my niche really was, and I think he had shared with me on a couple occasions that he needed that extra layer of support, so we did college essays together and stuff. So it kind of just evolved into that as we progressed throughout the 4 years.